So when I start a color conversion, which I do all the time, even with It's Not Surprise Me boxes, I help people in the shop with color conversions all the time. So the first thing I ask if you're coming in the shop is, do you want it to look like the front of the chart, or do you want it to look like the called for colors? Because they're often extremely different because of the way the over dyes have changed. They're not the same color that they were 5 years ago. So I look at the front of the chart and I start with what your favorite color is. If I'm in the shop with you helping you, I always say, what's your favorite color in the chart? And then we go around and we find the color that matches that to you. So if it may say red. Do you want a hot red? Do you want a cool red? Do you like it more orange? Do you like it to have more of a blue undertone? So that's the most important first thing, is to find the range that you like in your primary color. And then you go to the other ones. So if you've got a red flower that you just picked the color for, what they call for on the chart might not be the right one, because they might have charted it for a hot red and we're changing it to a more muted cool red. So then we pick the colors from there, and that's the fun part to me, is finding just the right colors with it. So we have over here, we have these wonderful Threadworks threads here, which those work great for large areas. This is my favorite corner of the whole room. We have our Glorianas here, and we have our Silken Colors, which is, I don't know if Melinda can get a shot of that. That's a beautiful wall. I sometimes just come up and look at it. I kind of find time every day to be there. And then we also have Belsoise back there. So it's just really fun. It's playing. So you just have to be willing to take a little bit of a chance and go with it. Sometimes you may not see the vision to start with. I say that with my daughter, who needle points all the time. I'm like, well, Caroline, I'm not really sure where you're going with that. But she's got the vision in her head of where it's going. And you know what? When she's done, it's beautiful. So she got that from me. So sometimes you might look at it and be like, I'm not sure about that, but it all comes together when it's done. So these are some samplings of different reds that we have. So this is Manor Red. That's my favorite red. And that's a very cool red, as opposed to Louisiana Hot Sauce. That is hot, hot, hot. So if you like a bright color palette, that's probably going to be in there. I like a more muted color palette, so I would probably do a Manor Red, and for a dark, I might use Indian Summer, because it's got that beautiful variegation in it. These are some silks that have it. This is a really pretty one. That's a hotter red, so that looks more like the Louisiana Hot Sauce. So you can see how that's got the more vibrant. This is, again, that's a more muted red. There's a lot of different reds. And this is a more pink red. A lot of times I will pull a pink red. It seems to go well with with more primitive things. There's a DMCs with them. And this is more in the purple range there. So then we always have the challenge. So I pick what one I like first, and then I find the ones that are the lighter and darker that go with it if there's a lot of different colors.
I am an avid stitcher and quilter, and I needed to get some projects together for this winter. Yes, I had some patterns that I hadn't gotten around to yet, and I needed the floss to add to it so I could complete my project. Yes, she gave me some very neat options and some silk that I'm not real familiar with, but we chose some silk flosses to use, and she took me out of my little box as far as stretching me into more adventurous fabric. Yes, this is like going into a candy shop for little kids. You know, it is just like you have to touch everything, you have to look at every pattern. It is just, I could spend hours here. It is just so much fun.